From a cunning parasite to some of the most shocking cases involving it. This is what happens when tapeworms attack. Before we begin, be sure to subscribe to They Will Kill You. Hit the like button and request any topics you'd like to learn about in the comments section below. The tapeworm, or Cestoda, is a parasitic, segmented flatworm, known for invading vertebrate animals and living inside their intestines. They can also infest the human body, and several species are known to cause diseases. Tapeworms don't have mouths and get their nutrients directly from the host's gut. They are hermaphrodites, and each segment of their bodies, called proglottids, contains a complete, sexually mature reproductive system. The neck continually produces proglottids. Therefore, tapeworms can grow to be over 26 feet long and may live up to 3 decades in a single human host. Number 5. Case in Singapore. Despite having no symptoms, a Singapore man found that a giant tapeworm had been living in his intestine. Microbiology experts at Singapore General Hospital had to fold the parasite 18 times just so that it would fit in a picture. The patient was horrified when the worm was passed out via the rectum. It was roughly 9 feet long. The man loved sushi, and doctors suspect that's where he got the tapeworm from. While it's unclear how long the man had the infection, judging by the sheer size of the parasite, it may have been several years. Before we move on, answer this question. What was the tapeworm marketed as at some point in the early 20th century? A. A source of vitamins. B. Muscle relaxers. C. Slimming tablets. D. A skincare product. Let us know what you think in the comments section below, and stay tuned to find out the right answer. Tapeworm infections are caused by ingesting undercooked meat prepared in poor hygienic conditions. The most common intermediate hosts are pigs, cows, and marine life. As such, transmission to humans often occurs from eating infested pork, beef, and fish. It can also parasitize pets. Tapeworm infections in dogs or cats are a rather common occurrence. The Taenia tapeworm genus is one of the most dangerous livestock parasites, and is also known to cause disease in humans. Number 4. Case in China. Doctors in China treated a young man who'd been living with a tapeworm in his brain for over 15 years. He reportedly had coordination problems, muscle weakness, and trouble speaking or swallowing. After a scan revealed a tapeworm in his brain, the doctors operated on him to remove the parasite. It was later identified as Asparagum mansoni, a type of tapeworm that's common in cats and dogs, but rare in humans. It turns out that the man had suffered a fracture when he was 9 years old and had tried to hasten his recovery by eating live frogs. This is a traditional Chinese remedy and most likely how he'd gotten the tapeworm infection. Doctors believe that one or more of the amphibians were carrying larvae. Once a tapeworm finds its way in your stomach, it uses its 4 suckers and 2 rings of hooks to anchor itself to the walls of your intestine. It then proceeds to steal nutrients from your diet by absorbing whatever food passes its way through your intestines. Death in severe infections may occur due to starvation and malnourishment. In addition, the tapeworm can also make its way into your brain, form cysts, and cause potentially fatal neurological problems. Cysts can be formed in virtually any tissue of the human body. That's because tapeworm larvae can burrow through the intestine wall and travel through the bloodstream. Taenia solium, also known as the pork tapeworm, is among the most dangerous tapeworms, and it can cause neurocysticercosis. The condition is manifested through cysts that take hold of the brain, causing seizures. According to the World Health Organization, tapeworm infections are the leading cause of epilepsy worldwide. The pork tapeworm, as well as the beef tapeworm, Taenia saginata, can also cause taeniasis. Its symptoms include nausea, diarrhea, abdominal pain, dizziness, and loss of appetite.
Before we continue, official They Will Kill You merchandise is now available at theywillkillyou.com. Stop clowning around and check it out, because your purchases really help support the channel.
Number 3. Indian teenager. An unnamed 18-year-old man from India went to the emergency room where he told the doctors he'd been having seizures. The teenager appeared to be confused and had trouble walking. He was actually suffering from tonic-clonic seizures, which cause loss of consciousness and violent muscle contractions. The man also had swelling in his right eye and complained of a pain in his groin. Doctors performed an MRI and found that the man's cortex and his brainstem were riddled with tapeworm cysts. Additionally, they discovered a number of well-defined cysts in the man's eye and in his right testicle. Tapeworm larvae can sometimes migrate out of the intestines and spread to other parts of the body, which is what happened in this case. Doctors chose not to give the man anti-parasitic medication out of concerns that it could have worsened the swelling in his brain. There was also a risk of him going blind because of the cysts above his right eye. Instead, they gave him anti-seizure medication and dexamethasone, a steroid used to reduce inflammation. The infection was so advanced that there was nothing more they could do for him. The 18-year-old passed away several weeks later. Some tapeworm infections may never require treatment, as the tapeworm will exit the body by passing through the rectum. It's possible for a patient to never know they have a tapeworm infection, as symptoms don't always occur. Some cases will require medicines such as praziquantel, nitazosanide, or albendazole. They have been proven to be effective against adult tapeworms and in shrinking cysts. To prevent reinfection, the recommendation is maintaining proper hand hygiene and consuming beef, pork, or fish from trusted sources. Doctors may also ask the patient to undergo enema treatment in order to completely remove the flatworm from their system. Cysts form in the liver, eye, or lungs may be surgically removed to maintain proper organ function. In rare cases, the infection may cause the accumulation of too much fluid in the brain, a condition known as hydrocephalus. Doctors might recommend placing a permanent tube inside a patient's head in order to drain the fluid. So, what were tapeworms marketed as in the early 20th century? The right answer was C, slimming tablets. Tapeworm eggs were presented to the public as the sanitized and jar-packed banishers of fat with the promise of no ill side effects. Despite the dangers of tapeworm infections, they've sporadically re-emerged as an alleged fat loss option. Number 2. Michael Mosley. While others on our list didn't mean to get a tapeworm infection, BBC's Michael Mosley purposefully sought it out. The investigative journalist swallowed 3 Taina saginata larvae, which he got from infected cattle in Kenya. He then swallowed a pill camera so that he could document the process on his iPad. Mosley hoped that the experience would aid researchers in determining the early signs of a tapeworm infection. He was at an Indian restaurant when he saw that 3 tapeworms, about 3 feet in length, had become attached to the lining of his intestine. To the shock and surprise of other diners, Mosley reportedly shouted out, "Blimey, there's a tapeworm in me." He had no symptoms whatsoever, but he suspects that the infection may have increased his appetite as he gained about 2.2 pounds. Number 1. Teenager in the US. When an American teenager was admitted to the ER with severe stomach cramps, doctors suspected she was pregnant. However, an ultrasound soon ruled it out. The nurses heard her scream and found her over a toilet bowl full of tapeworms. Some of them were very long and trying to crawl out of the toilet bowl. It turns out that the teen's mother had fed her tapeworm eggs in an effort to get her to lose weight for a beauty pageant. Nurses heard the tearful woman as she apologized to her daughter. She reportedly told the teenager that she needed some help before the contest. The woman admitted that she'd bought the tapeworm eggs in Mexico. After the eggs hatched, her daughter's intestine became riddled with tapeworms, which caused her severe abdominal pain. Thanks for watching. Would you let a tapeworm grow in your stomach for a year if it meant at the end you'd get $1 million in cash. Let us know in the comments section below.